What's up, everybody? Welcome back, episode 71 on November 10th, 2022. Happy birthday, man!
Yeah, man.
You don't look too shabby for 247.
Yeah. That's what it is. 247. I should know. Because I was at work in the Marine place, and it was
Yeah. So what was going on in fucking
this is
Marineville
gonna
today?
this is gonna fuck you up. So they did like a cake cutting thing in the middle of the day that I didn't go to, and then they did they had like some moto run where they were like running around with the flags and like some sort of physical sports competition type thing.
Okay.
Mark Boyle was on the winning,
Of course.
little 5 he was on the winning team, so that's fucking crazy. Continues to look exactly the same as the day I first met him, like 12 years ago or something. I don't understand what he's doing, but he doesn't age.
Nah, it's 16 years ago, dude.
What the fuck, dude?
2000,
yeah,
unless
exactly the
2006,
same,
right?
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you if I find it. But you gotta watch they do the video message every year.
Oh shit, the commandant and the sergeant major.
Well, they didn't do it that way this time. They just made a video about like
Well, they do that every year, right?
Yeah, but usually it's like the sergeant major and the commandant specifically like give a message.
Yeah.
And maybe they also did that, but the thing I saw was like a 10-minute video, and dude, like it was fucking legit, like badass. Like I'm not like, if it was at all gay or whack, I would say so, right?
I mean,
was legit, dude? It was like all focused on like the country has enemies, Marines kill these motherfuckers, basically. That was like the message. Like there's people everywhere that someone's got to kill, and Marines are the ones that do it. And obviously it's all for bad reasons, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about straight Marine shit, right? None of it was lame. They're always going to sprinkle.
Was there any real combat footage?
Yeah, I think there was some. Yeah, there was Afghanistan clips for sure.
Because that always tripped me out, dude. Like there would always be, we had Navy Cross recipients, we had Medal of Honor recipients. Some of these Navy Cross recipients probably had GoPros on when they were fucking hooking and jabbing.
Yeah.
And every Marine Corps commercial was always, BFA attached, fucking running on Red Beach with their fucking SIF gear and shit. Like
this had dudes fighting in Afghanistan. It had, I think, some Fallujah shit, and then it had dudes free fall jumping. It had Ospreys flying around, and you know how they're always gonna put some like there's gonna be some chicks in it. There's gonna be some people of color or whatever.
Right.
All of it was done like even the chicks. They look like. Because look, there is an appropriate role for women in the military. Like we would disagree with a lot of people about whether or not they should be like wearing 100-pound packs, trying to be soft operators or whatever, or infantrymen. But like the shit that they showed them doing seemed reasonable. It was like a fighter pilot chick, which they have that, right?
Sure.
That's no issue, right? So it had all that shit. It was just well done, and it was like pretty moto. We were like me and Danish were joking, and they were like, "Damn, dude, let's go rejoin this motherfucker." Like it's cool. Oh, and then it showed it's clearly because the Marine Corps has shifted its entire focus to China. That's all the Marine Corps really cares about right now. You saw that coming on your end of the thing, but like
it's
now fully like that's all anybody gives a fuck about, right? So that's
they're selling the China war.
They're selling it hard. Like they showed a bunch of goose stepping, like Chinese. They showed Chinese propaganda video cut throughout it and shit. So
current events around the world show us that peace is far from guaranteed. America's adversaries continue to present an ever-evolving threat to our nation's prosperity and security. Today, almost 31,000 Marines are forward deployed or stationed abroad. In every theater, in every time and place, standing ready to confront those who would do our nation harm. For 247 years, capable and determined adversaries have tested the Marine Corps.
The enemy knows when they see that EGA and they see a real Marine, hooked to that EGA, that could be a serious situation.
On each occasion, our forebears gave them reason to fear and respect the title United States Marine. Our adversaries have always had a choice: abandon their aggressions or stand and fight. Some chose to fight and were destroyed. Today, our adversaries still have a choice, and they know if they choose to fight, they will be defeated. Friction is highest.
We have to always
Our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts.
I remember my first cat shot in an F-18 into a combat zone, and that was a world. When I'm sitting on top of that rocket and they start to load the prop and it starts to shake and rumble, I hope that I feel a little bit nervous, keeps me sharp. I hope though that I have this calmness, knowing that I'm trained, my crew is trained, we are ready to go. And I hope that the second that we launch from planet Earth, that all just disappears and we're in the moment.
Chuck, got to get this off my chest, like now. All right, so when people say they want to go into space,
I want to go.
What do they typically mean by that?
They mean I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going into space, man. I'm going up there. I'm going up there.
Up there, and generally they mean they want to go into orbit. All right, anyone who has ever been in space.
They don't mean that. They want to go to space, man.
Well, okay. If that's the case, do you know how many people have left low Earth orbit?
Well, first of all, you are going to have to define low Earth orbit for me.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Because
I'll say it another way. All right, the Apollo astronauts.
Okay,
that left Earth.
Right.
Those are the only people who have ever left Earth for a destination.
That's cool.
Every other astronaut, hundreds of them, are called astronauts, and we still say they went into space. And what that means is they went into low Earth orbit.
Oh, that's just awful.
And so low Earth orbit is, in practice, where the space station is. It's about a couple of 100 miles up. So the distance from Earth's surface to the space station is less than the distance from New York City to Washington, D.C. So, yeah, you can drive to Earth orbit in, 3 or 4 hours. Oh. All right. If the road were pointing straight up. So NASA and others, I'm not implicating NASA uniquely in this, when they say we are going into space, that's what they mean. But I'm just going to say I just went on a very high plane ride. That's all I would say.
While those who threaten our nation remain, America sleeps well at night knowing the future will be no different. Because the Marines are always standing ready.
Across the force, we continue to innovate and experiment in preparation for the future fight.
Do we get to win this time?
Hell no, to the no, hell to the no.
Didn't show any way that these hordes of Chinamen were going to get here.
Oh, not here, dude. Like, the whole thing is we got to go other places.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cody,
so
don't you know that?
So the whole thing is we have to export.
If we don't, here's the thing. If we don't go over to these places and kill these people, they might stop doing central banking with us. And then we're all going to be poor. So like, we have to go. Any of these people that think they're going to have their own currency or any of this shit, or buy oil and use yen or some shit, like,
or have a different style of government.
Look, guys, a bunch of Freemasons set this fucking Ponzi scheme up a long time ago. All right.